now that I'm starting to learn the mistakes that I'm making, I feel like now I can actually discipline myself and stick to my plan to where I can actually make consistent payouts.
If you could go back in time to first day when you hit buy or sell and speak to your former self, what would you say to them to help them to become profitable and help them to achieve payouts quicker than what you did?
I feel like I'm not at that stage yet where I can be like, oh yeah, I'm making consistent payouts, because I only properly started trading in March. There's a lot of people that start panicking as soon as they see retracements. Once you understand the markets, you realize that retracements are normal. It's going to fill more orders to go back in your direction. Then there's people like wondering how me and my brother are so patient, just holding the trade for hours and hours, letting it go. Having confidence in your trade and your ability is a big part of it. The main thing I'd say is to stick to your own personal rules. Like, stay disciplined to what you know. You know yourself that you can do it, but if you stick to your rules, stay disciplined, you kind of just so motivate you to keep going.
So we're joined today with Arhem on his first ever QT payout. Only lived down the road. So we figured what better way to do that than to come into the QT office, share his experience, share his story with us. And it's kind of poignant because I remember, do you remember the first time I met you?
It was in December when you came to my house to pay my brother's 50k payout, like in person.
Me and James had a bit of a nightmare because we booked a camera guy and we booked everything, got it all sorted, ready to go down, meet you guys, pay your brother out 50k. Obviously, we're not here to talk about him, we're here to talk about you. But and then during that time, whilst we were on the way there, our camera guy cancelled. So you ended up filming the whole thing, didn't you?
Yeah.
Which were great. We were both gratefully appreciated for. But now it's kind of like come full circle. You're at the point whereby you're achieving consistent payouts now?
Somewhat.
Talk to me about that. As an experience, at what point have you become, would you say, profitable?
I feel like I'm not at that stage yet where I can be like, oh yeah, I'm making consistent payouts, because I only properly started trading in March. So since then, this is going to be my third payout now. However, for the last few, like two or so months, have just been like losses. But then the payouts I have in the last 2 weeks kind of makes up for all of my losses.
Okay.
So I feel like now that I'm starting to learn the mistakes that I'm making and noting down like what I need to do better, I feel like now I can actually discipline myself and stick to my plan to where I can actually make consistent payouts.
Would you put your recent challenges in trading down to August price action or just general wins and losses within trading?
I'd say a bit of both. Because for my strategy, I use the same as my brother's strategy. It is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And there was a few times where this month, where in the first week of August, were like constant wins almost every day. I think I'd done it over like 56% just on my evaluations to pass them. And then there were just some days where the price was just consolidating or just not moving how it should. Market structure was all over the place. And recently, there was also a lot of mistakes I was making on my part. I wasn't sticking to my plan. I was breaking my own rules, forcing trades when I shouldn't. When there wasn't an A+ setup, I was still taking the trades, which would just lead to losses. So it was kind of a mix of both, either price action as well as myself.
Interesting. And what are your rules?
Well, for one is to only take the trade when I see my confluences, my confirmations. Mm-hmm. If it's not an A+ setup, don't take it. Just take the day off and not trade. And pretty much those are the things. If I stick to it, then I know like, okay, cool, I'm not gonna make stupid losses.
And from your point, so you started trading properly in March, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. How have you developed those rules and those strategies in such a short period of time?
So luckily for me, I had my brother who was quite successful in trading. So learning from him kind of accelerated my learning process, and I was in and out of the markets before March. However, I wasn't really trading. It was more so just pressing buy, sell, trying to make money. But then after like, my brother will come up to me, he'll tell me the reasons why he traded, why he took the trade, the reasons behind it. And then I kind of learned from his mistakes, the mistakes that he would make and tell me about, like, oh yeah, I've done this stupid mistake. So I lost this trade, for example. And then from his mistakes is kind of what I tried to implement into my own plan as to not to do the same mistakes that he was making.
And apart from that, how has having, for want of a better expression, a very, very close-knit mentor supported you for your mindset and your goals? Like, how has that benefited you?
It's benefited me because I had someone who was supportive of me and helping me whenever I needed help. Like, I didn't have to like wait hours or like days for a reply from someone. I could just literally just message him and ask him for help and he'll just help me. And yeah, it was definitely helpful having him just close by helping.
And like for you personally, so it's really, really fascinating for me. I'm just talking selfishly here because we've been lucky enough to have a personal relationship with yourself and your brother for the best part of a year now. And watching your own growth is beautiful and it's inspiring to see. And watching that arc occur so quickly, because we're coming up to middle of August now. So watching that arc occur so quickly, a 5-month arc leaning towards profitability, as opposed to the people that you've learned from having a 6-year period of profitability, is really, really fascinating, because it shows to other traders that the right information, tools and guidance, when used effectively, can be so powerful. But you've still got to be the person to follow those instructions, believe in them, and also execute by yourself. Because if you didn't believe in your own strategy, if you didn't have your own rules, and you were still allowing your, let's say, your own mindset to cast indecision or closing entries early and stuff like that, maybe you wouldn't have had the successes that you've had. So yeah, by all means, you've had great support there, but you also deserve a pat on the back as well. And I hope you know that, right?
Yeah, definitely. For me, because I didn't have to like strategy hop. I didn't have to find out what works for me. I kind of saw like a proven track record from my brother, like, okay, cool, this works. And so when I implemented it in my own strategy and stayed disciplined to it, I saw results. And on top of that, like outside of trading, when I say stay disciplined to like my routines and I have a set routine and I stick to it, then I kind of feel better about myself and it helps me to stay disciplined in trading as well.
How would you say trading has affected your life, both positively and negatively?
Positively, I would say that I haven't really worked a job since like December time. So I've just been strictly just trading. So it's allowed me to have a lot of freedom. I don't have to worry about like, oh, I have to wake up a certain time, I have to do so and so. And negatively, I'm constantly looking at my screen. Like if I'm in a trade, for me, it's almost impossible to like leave my bed until that trade is finished. So I can't really go to the gym with a peace of mind knowing that, okay, cool, I'm in this trade. So I feel like that's the negative impact, is constant screen time.
And how long do you tend to hold a trade for?
It can vary between like a few minutes to all the way to the end of the day. So it can, yeah, it varies quite a bit.
And what's that feeling like when you've got an open position? You know that you've got other things to do throughout your day. You know that you've got your routine to fulfill, but you've got that open position there. But talk me through that feeling of not being able to leave the screen alone.
I feel like some days it varies how I feel. So like if the trade is up and it's running good in profit and I've set a break even, some days I can be like, okay, cool. I can just forget my phone. I can set my alerts. And then once the alert goes off, I can just check it once or twice just to see where it's at. But then some days when it's like near my entry or near my stop loss, it's like, oh, I have to constantly just watch it, just to watch it. Even though I know it's going to hit my stop loss, I just have to see it happen. So I feel like it could affect like what I have to do in the day, just because I'm constantly just on my screen. I'm waiting for this to just either be in the trade or out of it.
That's interesting. And where do you see your career in trading? Because ultimately, whether you're working for a business, you're self-employed, you have employees, whatever it looks like, effectively that is a form of a career. You've picked the path of a trader for now. Where do you see it taking you?
Kind of like a similar route that as my brother went through. So like kind of snowball effect of just stacking payouts and then eventually trying to use them payouts to start a business and kind of just venture out into other stuff. But as for now, I feel like trading as it is, if I stay disciplined to my rules and everything, I feel like I can definitely do something with it.
What business would you want to do, if any?
Probably property. I feel like it's just quite interesting for like investing in properties, whether it be like buying rundown ones and refurbishing them and then selling them, or just overall just investing in properties like abroad and overseas.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Especially here at the QT Funded office, because today we've officially launched the QT Funded Advent Calendar. 24 days, 24 challenges, 24 chances to win something that actually matters. And these aren't cute Christmas gimmicks. These are real trading habits. Trade of the day, pre-trade checklists, sniper entries, discipline losses, journaling. The things that actually make you a better trader. Behind every door, we have cash. And of course, evaluations to give away. Instant Prime and Power. Everything is in play, with up to $10,000 in cash up for grabs and daily winners announced across every platform. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. This is 24 days of real trading, real discipline, and real rewards. If you're going to trade in December, you may as well get rewarded for it. The full calendar is live on the website.
A little bit of friendly advice, and it's just friendly advice. In life, in general, don't pick something you enjoy. Pick something that you're really, really, really good at, right? Leverage that good for financial gain to then spend your free time, because you're so good at this thing that you can make X amount in such a small period of time. Then spend your free time doing stuff that you enjoy, rather than doing something that you enjoy as a career, if that makes sense. I remember having that conversation with someone who sat not too far away from you right now. When he said, I don't want to trade anymore, I don't like it. But we put all this time, effort and energy, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, a year, into doing the skill that, let's be blunt with one another, getting paid that amount of money from a normal career, a job, is very, very challenging at any age, but at a young age with a certain amount of qualifications, skills, so on and so forth. So if you can choose to leverage what you already know and already have learned that you're clearly relatively good at, in comparison to the majority of people who are trading, not yet making payouts, haven't quite got their strategy right, that will do wonders for you for the next few years. I mean, if you could go back in time, right? And I know it's only a short period of time, but if you could go back in time to the first day when you hit buy or sell and speak to your former self to give them advice, and you've got 2 minutes or less to do it, what would you say to them to help them to become profitable and help them to achieve payouts quicker than what you did?
The main thing I'd say is to stick to your own personal rules, like stay disciplined to what you know, because as soon as you start breaking your routine, breaking your rules, you'll see kind of like a downfall in what you know yourself that you can do it. However, as soon as you stop following your rules, you'll just instantly start making losses and kind of stop believing in yourself. But if you stick to your rules, stay disciplined, you'll kind of it'll motivate you to keep going.
You mentioned there about stop believing in yourself. Do you feel that self-esteem is important within trading, i.e. how you feel within yourself?
Definitely, I would say that is a big part of it, because if you don't believe that you can do it, you won't be motivated to give it your all. You'll be kind of just giving you'll be giving like 50% of what you can do rather than believing in yourself and giving 100.
Mm-hmm. And describe that feeling to me for maybe someone who's just starting out, of the difference between when you have that heightened confidence, you have that heightened rules set, and you're ready to go, as opposed to when you might not be in that state. What's the differences between when you're entering positions, holding trades, and then closing them out? What's that like?
So, for example, myself a few months ago, if I'm entering a trade and I'm not in the mindset that I'm not confident enough in the trade, for example, I would find myself either entering late, closing trades early, or kind of just forcing stupid trades. Whereas like myself now, I can confidently enter a trade. Whether or not I stare at it, I won't close early. I'll either hit my TP or I'll let it hit my break even. I won't close early. I'll just set it and forget about it.
And that's that level of confidence in your self-esteem or your strategy, rather than the second that MT5 goes blue instead of red.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that start panicking as soon as they see retracements when they don't. But once you understand the markets, you realize that retracements are normal. It's going to fill more orders to go back in your direction. Not all the time, of course, but as soon as retracements happen, I see like in the Discord, for example, people start panicking. They start closing trades early. Then there's people like wondering how me and my brother are so patient, just holding the trade for hours and hours, letting it go. So yeah, I would say, having confidence in your trade and your ability is a big part of it.
Okay, so patience is key then.
Definitely, yes.
Well, I think you've been patient long enough. Should we get you paid?
No, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay, lovely stuff. So it's quite a special payout for QT anyway, because I believe, and I'll probably be corrected if I'm wrong, but this is our first ever live GBP payout of £1,556.40. So congratulations and well done. You sent me your USDC wallet earlier, so let me just bring it up now. And that has now been sent, so that will be with you within a couple of minutes, I'm sure. But whilst we patiently wait for that to arrive, you do get your QT funded t-shirt
I appreciate
to wear,
that.
treasure and hold. That is not for gym sessions. Okay,
I was going to wear it to the gym.
That's exclusively for when you're out and about, but I know you asked me for one, so yeah, that's yours to treasure. There will be a version 3 coming out soon, so you'll have to come back for the next payout to get that one.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, but congratulations and well done. No, it's really, really nice. Whilst we're waiting for that money to come through, we've spoken a bit about your strategy and how you feel about your trading. What's your experience been like with our business?
Zero complaints, to be honest. Like the spreads, everything is kind of standard, like prop firm standard. But the spreads in QT are pretty good. They're really good, especially for German 40, the only pair I pretty much trade. I don't really experience any slippage, any issues. Everything kind of just how it should be.
What do you feel like we could do to improve? Because the reason why I asked that is I know you're in quite a large community. You see positives, you see negatives, and our business only grows off feedback from people who trade with us. So what do you feel like we could do to improve?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest. I feel like with my experience compared to what people complain about, it's not really accurate what they complain about, because there's no issues with spreads, there's no issues with slippage for me personally. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
I think a big thing which we did get quite a lot of feedback for was how restrictions were placed on accounts, which we've now changed and relaxed that process. So it means that there's less controls in place for people when they reach funded, so they get more freedom. The idea or logic behind it was to ensure that people could stay within guidelines when they wouldn't breach accounts. But the feedback that we got is people didn't really care about the controls that we wanted to impose. They wanted to use their own controls on their own funded accounts, which I get. I've just seen some money pop into your Coinbase wallet. Could you show the camera, please?
Yeah, of course.
So that's our first ever GBP payout done live and landed. Congratulations.
I appreciate that.
Well done. But no, boom, bang, and on to the next, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely more to come.
What's the number that you want to hit from trading?
By when?
By when? Let's say December 31st, 2025.
I'll say 50,000.
50k. And how far are you off that now?
About 38k-ish.
Okay, nice. Well, that's very, very achievable given the arc you've already got. But I'm hoping that QT can be a big part of that 50, but that's our first step towards it. So
Definitely.
Hopefully we'll be seeing you December 31st and you've crossed that mark and then done way more.
Definitely, I'll be back for that.
Beautiful stuff. Well, thank you so much for coming down. I really, really appreciate it. And
I appreciate
well
it.
done on your payout once again, yeah?
Thank you.
No problem.